game. And yes, I have no idea what I'm going to be getting as far as games go. There are many possibilities. I don't really know what to expect from the different games. What? Oh, do that. So we'll be getting into our first game. Yeah, like I said, it's open user submission replays for the Saturday casts. So we will just be casting whatever I get sent as far as games go. This is actually sent from an IC Cup admin, IC Cup Core, and it looks like it is going to be a fastest game on, I guess all fastest maps are mostly the same. I know we have some 1v1 games coming up, at least 2. I'll probably have 3 or 4 games today, so if you're not a fan of fastest, have no fear. There will be other games more to your liking. And I will be honest, I do not play fastest, and I don't know the strategy very well. But we'll just have some fun watching and see what happens. IC Cup Core tells me they're good games, so I can only hope that they are. Oh, are there teams? How do you check that? I actually have no idea. Yeah, it's probably a 2-on-2, most likely, and not an FFA. But I honestly don't know. Can I do that with Shift Tab? Ah, okay. So most likely we have purple and orange on this side against white and green. So we have PZ against PZ. And what does this protest have? We have 3 gateway opening, which apparently is a decently popular fastest opening. I remember reading a thread one time from a guy on fastest. Zerg is getting gas fairly fast. Core laying down the law. I don't need your instruction. You are beneath me, noob. How dare you talk to me? And then this Protoss is making a forge and cannons, which honestly I have no idea what's legit or what's not in fastest. So this Zerg is gonna keep droning. He's got his pool. He's making lings, which is gonna hurt his economy. I have a feeling this Zerg is probably not that strong, but we shall see. It does have. Oh, he does have a second hatch. Okay, that's a little different. Never mind. Maybe he's normal. All right. Oh, we've got some cuteness going on over here. We have the cuteness. So popular on fastest, making those cannons outside range. But he's got plenty of time. He's got drones pulled. This shouldn't be an issue unless Protoss can spam so many cannons that Zerg can't actually keep up with drones, as his spawning pool is a long ways away. But it looks like he's not having too much trouble. Protoss is going to put a lot into these cannons. Oh, this is actually going to get a little interesting. Does he have the right number of drones pulled? It's looking a little dicey. This cannon is close. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my gosh, either this Zerg is pro or... Oh my gosh, if he keeps him going up, but he's getting in trouble. He's getting behind. He's getting way behind. He needs to get more off the line or he's going to get cannon. Oh no, Lings have arrived. This looks like a bad situation for our Zerg friend right here, as he is getting taken out by the cannons. Nothing else really going on in the middle of the map, but we do have some zealots moving out from purple, and the cannons are going to be annoying. He is getting creep colonies up, though, to keep himself active in the game, but these Lings are certainly going to be annoying, and the cannons getting in range. Will they be able to shut down the creep colonies? It is looking pretty dicey. Morphing the Sunken, this one is obviously dead. Finally getting some Lings out, and in the meantime, what is our other action? We have a cannon here. Purple is coming up. Obviously, it's 2v2, so people can be all around the map. That Zealot is just going to walk on by into the main base and be like, yo, I'm going to harass your probes. And now both these Sunkens are down, and down goes a drone, and more cannons coming up. He will probably, I don't know if he can get ran into the hatchery. This Zealot is being annoying. He is probe drilling and gets rid of the probe. The Zealot has 1 kill, and now the Zealots are being rediverted to Zerg's base. Who is this player? These are the Zealots from IC Cup Core, who is now coming to harass. That Zealot is just standing at the hatchery. What the hell? It is just standing at the hatchery. It is not attacking. What is going on? And we got 4 more Zealots from IC Cup Core and a bunch of Lings. It's looking really bad for our Orange Zerg player, although White has successfully held off the attack. Oh wait, no, that's because they're on an ally. Of course the Zealot's not attacking. We had a moment there. Of course the Zealot's not attacking, they're allied. But the Zealots are in the wrong spot. They're not helping. They're all hanging out up here, and a defensive pylon from Core, what? Yeah, so the Zerg is about to lose his important hatchery. He's trying to hold on to it. He's drilling with the drones. The Zealot is down. He's trying so hard to hold on to this base, but it is in range of the cannons right now. And I think that is it, and our Orange Zerg taps out. So some early game shenanigans removing him, and these Zealots from Core absolutely too late. So now Core is left to play against 2 players on his own. Although the white Protoss is not looking terribly, and continuing to build cannons is a little bit overkill. Those should get... Wait, oh, those are defensive cannons from Core? Core, you should have canceled those. No, no. Okay, well, oh well. Trying to build some defensive cannons. And holy gas Batman, I don't know about this Protoss. I'm not convinced this is sound fastest play. Second cannon, he's only just now getting a gateway. He's on 20 supply. Core has got, yeah, White Protoss is not seeming like the most terrifying Protoss to have to play in fastest. He's going to get some serious gas, though. And our Zerg player now popping out some lings. Got a lot of, starting to get a lot of bank. Needs some more hatcheries or something to spend that money. All he's got right now is lings. He's mined this gas really early, and he's not using it very effectively. So the question is, can Core battle it out against the 2 newbies and take a 1 versus 2 victory with his ally now in the grave? Oh, he's going to kill him off completely. Oh, no, actually, never mind. He left the game. I was going to say, he can't obs now. And we have a gateway going up. But obviously these lings are not going to do anything against the wall of zealots, especially without speed. With no speed, he could run in there maybe and be annoying because there aren't cannons up yet. Although it's a little hard to be annoying with the way the probes stack and everything. But got a 3rd Nexus going up for Core, who's pumping out of his 2 Nexus, getting a Robo. Mad queuing, but it's fastest, so, you know, sometimes that's easy to do. And we are getting a wall of Sunkens at the front, which I guess he's scared of the Zealots, so it makes sense, but honestly, the Zealots could probably just walk back here and, like, kill all these hatcheries or something like that. Welcome, Connor 5620. And 4th cannon here. And our Protoss player, who is just loving the gas. Oh my gosh, yes, mine that gas. What are we gonna make? Mass Archon. Mass fucking Archon. Nothing but Archons, because he's only got, like, I don't know, probably 10 probes on minerals, so it's just gonna be the fucking Archon Massacre. Which is actually pretty good against Zealots, but I have a feeling units other than Zealots will be added at some point in the future. Just a prediction. Zerg on his way to 4 hatcheries. He's laying 0-0. Do we have a forge? We've got a forge spinning with... Oh, well, what is this? We have armor first. I don't know about the logic of armor first, but it is what it is. We're getting some side cannons. We're getting an observatory. Worried about those lurkers in the main mineral lines. And up here we've got a probe. Yeah, he's got a lot of gas. That's just the only way to put it. I mean, that's a fucking lot of gas. And we've got Hydra streaming across the map. But how far is he from any upgrades with his Hydra? We have Groove Spines on the way, and that is obviously... He doesn't have walk speed, so he's got Slowdra. Slowdra with Spines coming. Zerg is getting a 2nd lair. Make that... Oh, he's going double lair. He wants to upgrade his OVs super fast. And, of course, Protoss is gonna go mass fucking scouts with all of his gas. He's got this build figured out. There are gonna be so many scouts flying around. Core is gonna have no way to deal with it. Alright, we're getting a 2nd photon cannon here. Some more defense. I think this is pretty... Like I said, I don't know fastest map, honestly. But he is getting more photon cannons. I think that's sort of common, though, because obviously harassing the mineral lines is ridiculously effective. 1 or 2 Reaver Scarabs, and you lose every single bit of mining you have. And we are going for triple robotics Reavers for the harass. Gonna go kill those main hatches off, because if you lose this hatch, you can't rebuild it, and your mining is forever way slower. And oh my god, look at this. He is even getting the scout speed upgrade. So many fucking scouts. Totally legit. And of course, while scouts do cost some gas, they also cost some minerals, so he's going to bank a shit ton of gas. Now he's like, I should probably get some more economy to support this. So we've got a few more Nexus coming down. He is, of course, upgrading his scout armor. He's got 1 attack, so he's going to get the armor because he doesn't have the... What is it? I think you need the archives to get the next upgrade. And over on the side, Zerg is adding a Spire and a Queen's Nest and just putting this chill mass. And we have Protoss's first harassment fleet. Are those speed shuttles? I think they're speed shuttles. Oh yeah, they got turbo boost. We got shuttles of speed. He's got them right on the edge of the map. Gonna try to fly right in here past, and of course there is no defense. So Zerg is probably gonna lose all of his fucking drones. So brace for it. Brace for the death of drones. Let's see the massacre as it takes, since nothing else is happening other than scouts being made. We've got a Reaver down. It's just one Reaver in, 2 shuttles though. A cute empty shuttle. Oh, 1 shuttle probably just to make sure it could get in. So all the drones are dead. I don't even want to know. Oh my god. How many kills does this Reaver have? I'm sure it's got like 1 billion, but it's building scarabs. Oh, he's just gonna go attack the Hydra den. Alright, Zerg, you gotta like spam some Hydras or some shit. Alright, Lings, pick up the Reaver! Alright, he picks up the Reaver. He's got speed shuttle, so he could be so annoying with this right now if he wanted to be like obnoxious. Oh, that's not a good spot for it. That's not a good spot for it. No, man, no! I wanted to see the kill count. Oh well. Alright, so Zerg's mining is really solid right now. We've got at least 1 drone mining gas. And he's gonna spam Hydra. So Zerg is not gonna have an economy the rest of the game. Alright, so Protoss has 4 Nexuses and some scouts. Not that many scouts because scouts take like almost as long as a carrier to build. So he's got 1 opponent with no economy. He's got some defense at the front. We've got some Dragoons just hanging out. We've got a whole lot of Protoss gateways. A little bit of rallying would be nice, but hey, you've got like 50 gateways. It takes a long time to rally 50 gateways. Cut some people some slack. Alright, we've got like a fleet of shuttles. We just need a fleet of Reavers to go with it. But we got supply block. And coming up to the front, the Observer. There's no Overlord there. Oh my gosh. Send out a DT. Be annoying. In fact, if he made Corsairs, he could win this game with like 1 DT. Zerg's economy is really awesome. Really awesome. Alright, so he can see the front now. He hasn't actually gone in and scouted Protoss's mass scout fleet. I'm really curious if Protoss is just trolling him because he thinks 2v1, how can we lose? Or if he thinks scouts is a legit strategy. Oh, we got action. Protoss is engaging, but this is a bad engagement because it's at a choke with a lot of Hydra against just Dragoons. Now, if he was supporting it with Reavers, it would be a fantastic engagement, but instead he's throwing away a bunch of Dragoons and he's not retreating. He is throwing away all the Dragoons. So that was kind of a waste for Protoss, a bit of an unfortunate, but it is a bit of a diversion as he tried to drop a High Templar, Dark Templar, in the middle line. He did get the Zealot off. It's kind of hard to drop against 50 scouts though. And Zerg has managed to remass some Hydra. Protoss actually had a High Templar too. He probably took it in the shuttle. Alright, so here comes the scout fleet. He's got a lot of cannons though. Enough cannons to deal with 12 plus scouts? Maybe. Maybe. With the Dragoons, if he has a storm, certainly he can deal with it. He could also just make Corsairs. Corsairs would be pretty nice against it. I'm trying to tell if he got any. He might have actually gotten some probes, because there are no probes on this side. And here come the scouts into the main base. We have a lot of cannons attacking. Alright, so the scouts have flown in, waste some time. He's going to kill the. He's going for the Nexus. The Nexus scout snipe. Is it possible? I don't think it is. But if he gets half of it. He gets half of it, but that is all he's going to get. And all that money goes down the drain for shields. For shields. He gets 200 HP at the cost of like 20k resources. Ah, it burns! And the Hydra are trying to bust the front, but there are too many cannons plus Reaver support. We all know how this ends, with a lot of dead Zerg. And something getting sniped. Sorry, it was too epic watching those scouts. I could not focus on anything else. Especially in this fastest game. Alright, so Zerg is slowly remaking his economy. He's got 50 supply, which is mostly drones right now. So he's actually got an okay economy now. Not a great one, but an okay one. He's remassed a few scouts. Is he going to switch to carrier, or is he going to stick with... Oh, he's going to stick with the no macro option. A very powerful StarCraft losing technique. Unless, of course, you disconnect your opponent's computer. Then it wins. But aside from that... Alright, the Dragoon's coming up across the map, and we are going to have an attack on Protoss. It's a pretty good time to attack. If he has a Reaver, he can really nicely deal with these cannons. Even then, if he controls his Dragoons well, he can certainly muscle through. But it Yeah, it will require some decent control. He's going for it now. Zealot's running in. Oh, he needs to pull the goons. Just position him up front here. Hold position. Let him attack the cannons, whatever. Because there are a lot in the back that are being retarded. There we go. Now we're getting some control over the dragoons. He has busted down the first row of cannons. He's trying to run in, but there are more cannons, and there is a wall, and the wall is being very OP. And here comes the scout defenses as the dragoons tried to run in. But they are bugging so hard. The control here is not sharp for Core, but that is because Core is busy reinforcing with probes. Yeah, probes to come kill the cannons. Bad manner. He will get the scouts, though. The scout army will die, and Protoss is freaking out. He's like, oh my god, the dragoons might bust through, and here come the mutalisks to defend. And a bunch of Hydra. I think this is going to clean up the Protoss army. Unfortunately, walls are OP, and here come the probes. The probe defense. But now Protoss is going to freak out and probably build like 50 cannons, and it's going to be more annoying than before to bust. And he is going to continue with his scouts, but notice he's pretty resource limited. So he's actually not making very many scouts from his beautiful Stargate. He's reinforcing, but this position is now secure. Now is not the time to reinforce. Something is still alive here. What is? Oh, it's one dragoon. Okay. Alright, here comes Protoss. He was thinking about Wave 2. He's like, do I do Wave 2? Alright, so we got some 2-2-1 upgrades on Protoss. Zerg is rocking the no upgrade style of play. And, what? Okay, so we've got like 3 shuttles to actually get the one with the precious cargo in. And in the meantime, Protoss is going to send an army out. Kind of distracting. He's going to fly in. There's still no anti-fucking air, so this drop is going to be absolutely devastating. Here comes the storm. Oh my god, he kills all the drones again. Although this time Zerg actually has a lot of money, so he can sort of re-macro. Of course, he doesn't really have very many hatcheries. Like, if he had 15 hatcheries, he would just make all his drones in one round. Alright, so we got Protoss moving back into the center with a larger army, and this time we have the Reaver support that it needed before. Zerg is going to try to expand in the center, but I don't know about that strategy, and I don't know what these High Templar are doing! Normally, High Templars lag behind the army, but apparently these are the sub-13 5-minute 5k High Templar that go in front of your army. He is getting really surrounded right here. This army is going to get wrecked. Although, actually, it's kind of funny because it might not get wrecked because it's just Muta and Lurker. If the Hydra weren't there, that would have been a really funny battle to watch. Alright, we've got Reaver support to kill the Hydra, but it's too late. The air army is going to clean everything up as there are only true dragoons left. We've got reinforcement lings, we've got reinforcement scouts. We have a second drop coming up on the right side of the map as Protoss streams units. And there is, again, well, there's cannons here. He needs to get the drop down. He gets a storm off, and it is a beautiful storm. All the mining workers are dead. So both races are suffering from the I don't have an economy problem right now. But actually, Protoss doesn't have banked resources. Zerg has a few banked resources, but Zerg is looking very bad right now. Because now Zerg has to spam units. He's saying, really, I guess he's mad at his ally because how can we be losing a 1v2? It must be my ally's fault. Never mind that I'm making scouts. It is my Zerg ally's fault. I can't believe this is possibly happening. Here comes the mass scout train. Where are the storms? Just storm them like twice and they are dead. Alright, so we have a little battle here. Dragoons against scouts, and oh no! White Protoss concedes. It's not possible to win this game. It is just the Zerg left to die. And the Zerg is definitely going to die at this point, so IC Cup Core, against all odds, will overcome and take this fastest game in a 1v2 battle. Look at the resource advantage. He outmined both of his... Did he? No, wait. No. Oh, Core, you need to shut their economy down a little more, or you would have had more total resources than both of them combined. Sadly, he came up about 1,000 resources shy. Alright, looks like we're going to have one more fastest game, but he was the first to send me reps, and I told him I was going to cast these two, so we will be watching this, and then we have 2 more games. I believe those games are from Jealous, and one from Big Fan, if I recall correctly. Alright, so, what are our teams for this game? Oh, I guess I'm on the wrong side to know. It's probably a 2v2 though. We'll just have to watch the battle and see. This time we have a brown Terran. I actually need to restart my overlay. Not very useful in 2v2s though. Alright, so we have a yellow Zerg who is Takakich over here, and we have our brown Terran who is STDIND. We have our orange Protoss who is Demons, and we have our rep sender, the blue Protoss, who is IC Cup Core. Apparently there's a lot of discussion in the chat about whether there will be actually a Brood War HD remake. I don't have enough to know. I mean, there was that point where they were like hiring for a job for it, but I don't know what will become out of that. That was maybe just to do some basic updating. Zerg is scouting incredibly fast. That was probably like a 6 scout. And going for the fastest, this is like fastest 4 pool, fastest 5 pool, I don't know, man. But he's making an Overlord, so at least there's that. I was like, please don't tell me you're going to do a pool this fast and then forget your Overlord and awkwardly stare at your larva. Alright, Drone's doing some looking for stuff. We have 2 gateways and a forge from this Protoss, and Core is doing Nexus and 2 gates as the probe scouts. So I still don't know who are allies. These guys are probably not allies. They're probably mortal enemies. Either that or they're not really not watching each other's map at all. Blue and orange seem to be enemies. Which would imply that blue and brown are allies. But we shall see. Yeah, orange and blue are definitely enemies. They don't like each other. That probe dodged a hit. We got the Lings. We got the rush. I hope it's worth it as he drops 2 more hatcheries. And here we come. He's moving out with these zealots to go harass, but Lings are coming into the base. Little battle here, little Ling battle. Gonna go for the probes. Probes gotta drill. No, probes gotta run. Probes are gonna. Oh, he's gonna try to fight with the probes. I don't know if this is the right decision, but he probably does have a lot of. Oh my gosh, they're strong like that. Holy shit, probes as I've never seen them. They're as strong as Zerglings. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the probes cleaned that up easy. Made that look not problematic whatsoever. And now Zerg is like, oh god, there are zealots, I need sunken colonies. Which means his economy is in the shitter. He's at 11 supply, make that 10 supply. He's got 10 drones. 10 drones at like the 3-minute mark and a fastest. Okay, we're gonna just keep decreasing. And we're gonna make Zerglings, so he's got like 7 drones, never mind. Oh god. Alright. Terran getting some Marines, getting his range. Where are the medics? Nowhere, and there's just 1 bunker at the front. I fear for all of these players' lives. Alright, so Core is putting down a Siren X Core. How fitting. Oh, running in a few more Zerglings. Where are they coming? And where are they going? We know where they're coming from. Alright, so the probes are probably just going to prove to be really strong again, especially since this time they have a zealot to help. And yeah, the probes just massacred those Zerglings. That is just dirty. I've never seen probes like that before. Oh, now we're going to have the zealot harass. I'm going to take turns harassing. This probe does actually has a lot of gateways. But does he actually have the economy to support it? Maybe? Actually, yes, maybe it's because he got a lot of minerals, but he's doing fine for now. He is trying to defend, though. He needs to bring these zealots back and defend. And be careful he doesn't get overwhelmed by 5-gate zealots. Alright, we're getting a few probe kills here. Supply still... Wait, I don't know who supply's favoring. Nice little drill there, though. That zealot is getting glitched out. And here come the Marines. I was right that blue and brown are friends. So blue and brown are playing yellow and orange. And mass zealots are being spammed out. Sorry, man. I don't have any Asian or Indian accents in me. I can come sort of close to doing a Russian one, but not really. And now we have these zealots on bunker attack, but repair is OP as fuck, so... I predict the bunker can live. It's looking... No, the bunker's gonna die, though, because he's not gonna actually repair it. But he will live the attack just fine. Can he get him? No. Nope. And friendly zealots arrive. Attack. Crisis averted. So getting a few more hatcheries, starting to build up. No, he's not. I was going to say he's starting to build up an economy, but at just 20 drones, I don't really know if I can say that. Alright, so we've got the gases for core all on the same side. I wonder if there's logic to that. Every time I play fastest, which is really rarely, I take like 1 gas, 2 gas, 3 gas, 4 gas, so I can tell who's mining what. It's the only way I can keep sane. Actually, some pretty nice gateway placement here for orange. Nice little row to walk out of, can pop out. Not quite Harangue 2, but, you know, we're doing alright. Maybe he's been taking a few lessons, like he probably had his first lesson from Harangue 2 the other day, and he's like, alright, I'm going to put this in practice a little bit. And we've got a Marine Medic attack, but there's no fire bats. And there's no micro. So Zealots are pretty good against unmicroed Marines, even if there is a medic in there, especially in low numbers. You know, you get 100 Marines, yeah, okay, 40 Zealots are going to have a hard time, but... And down go the remaining Zealots, or... Whoa. Let's try that again. Down go the remaining Marines, and all of a sudden Brown is in trouble from, like, 6 Zealots. Because he doesn't know what a fire bat is. Fire bats, man. Fire bats. No, make fire bats! Alright, so these Zealots are going to start doing some damage. I don't think they will kill him, especially not with blue coming to defend him. But they're going to be a little bit annoying. And they're going to keep his army count at more or less 0. Alright, so we're just going to go straight for the SCVs. He is splitting them up on the side, so these actually should get a decent number of SCV kills. Oh, but he's not microing them now. He's actually killed all the SCVs on this side. What the hell? I guess sometimes they do get heavily biased towards one side versus the other. I was like, if he only has 6 SCVs mining. I mean, his economy is not that healthy, obviously, given the supply, but it's not terrible. It's certainly not what Core is running with, though. Who is clearly economically the superior player in this game. It is not a contest. I'd have no idea what 10x means. Ah! He's remembered that there are fire bats. And Zerg is getting a bunch more hatcheries. And another extractor, we've got tech, we've got groove spines, and we have fire bat reinforcements. Okay. Protoss is like, okay, I probably need cannons now because the other Protoss is getting sort of scary. And he might have like a DT or something. Some little cannons guarding the gateways. Oh, so Jealous says that. There is the gases allow the probes to spawn on the right side when they're stacked, and you can get the probes spawned behind sometime. Alright, so there is logic to taking your gases all on one side. Alright, Protoss going for the bust. The Zealots are coming back to defend, though, which is going to definitely block this bust. Although Firebats are coming to help, although they are unfortunately just walking into the battle. And they need to stem and come defend. Okay, this is Terran, bro. Alright, Terran realizes he needs to use attack command. Some of these Zealots might actually get cleaned up because of this, but Zerg in the meantime is oh shit. Oh shit. If he knows the burrow command, if he can press U, damage will happen. We wait with bated breath, and actually Protoss is going to continue his attack. He may actually break this Protoss with the reinforcement Dragoons, but I think Zerg has forgotten that there's a U button. Oh man, please. Oh, he remembers. He remembers! Oh my god, the SCVs are going to be massacred. And Protoss is hammering his way through the front. Will the reinforcements from these gateways be enough to stop the Dragoons? I don't know. But there is a lot of SCV death right now, and Terran is freaking out. His command center is under attack, and guess what? It's fastest. If you lift the command center, you are done. We've got crazy Dragoon Micro here. He is mowing down the Zealots, can easily take them out with his speed goons. Would be nice to see these front ones getting pulled back a little bit, but I think he's worried about reinforcing. We've got some DTs. Zerg is sending out Hydralisks everywhere. The Terran has unfortunately been forced to lift his command center, which probably isn't worth it. Although maybe he needed to lift it just so he could build SCVs later. But Terran is wrecked. And Protoss is potentially in trouble. He's got a lot of gateways, but all he's got is slow Zealots right now. I don't think the DTs are going to do that much with the cannons, and Protoss is fighting hard to clean this up. But he's not getting enough, and there are almost the same number of gateways now from Core, who, if he kept his reinforcements up, will definitely break through. He still may break through, but if he reinforces this, it's going to be wonderful. Zerg is doing okay. actually taking this time to drone really hard. And, uh-oh, Protoss has just threw in the towel and said, I can't do this. Or has he? No, never mind, that was Terran. Terran said, I'm dead. So Icy Cup Core, again, is left on his own to fight. A 2-on-1. Although he's doing a lot of damage to Protoss. We got some lurkers outside. Obviously not going to bust through the wall of cannon death. But it will make it a little annoying to reinforce. As in, he probably won't reinforce until he's observers. Oh, he's running away into lurker spines! Into the lurker spines! Ouch, but doesn't lose any Dragoons. Alright, so Zerg has actually a ton of hatcheries and an extra lair, because, you know, extra layers are good. Maybe it's like ornamental lair. So Zerg has just made a bunch of drones. So Zerg probably actually has a pretty good economy. It's 114 supply for the Zerg, and it's 153 for core. So we're facing a decently economized Zerg, who is getting a first Evo chamber? Oh god. Okay, the upgrade situation's pretty rough. Of course, it's not that good for Protoss either. And of course, as we see with core, the 3 robotics for the shuttle drops. He likes to go for the economy here. We're getting a second forge, we're getting weapons, so... Alright, here he goes. He's trying to bust out. But I don't see the observer. I don't think he can bust through the lurkers. He'll kill the zealots with no problem. But... he needs something else to bust through the lurkers. Maybe he's just gonna ignore this. This is pretty risky. Oh my gosh. I mean, there are a lot of Dragoons here, but still... Still, these lurkers will start to do damage over time. He's just going for it. Never mind that there could be like 15 more lurkers that would come out of nowhere and surround you. He's going for it. He wants to kill Protoss. He's not worried about those lurkers. The zealots now, the Dragoons are in such huge numbers, the zealots are just dying off. They can barely touch them. Almost invincible Dragoons. This Protoss, I'm not sure, is aware that there are units other than slow zealots, or even an upgrade for zealots, for that matter. Do we have an observer? Please tell me we have an observer. What? What? You've been getting attacked by lurkers for like 2 minutes. Where's the observer? It's not coming. Maybe he's just, you know, protest. Like, okay, Zerg macro kicking into high gear. A shit ton of Hydras and a really serious lack of High Templar. Like 1. So, yeah, but we're going to have some harass on Zerg at the same time. 3 shuttles, always to escort that 1 shuttle is definitely a core style. Trying to get that 1 into the base, and the Hydra are obviously going to clean up all, well, it'll actually be interesting to see who holds. I thought the Hydra were going to clean up. They'll probably clean up down here. Up here, it remains to be seen. In the meantime, we've got drop going down, and he gets all the economy of Zerg. Boom! Drops have proved ridiculously effective for core, but core does get his army cleaned up by the Zerg. So for the time being, Protoss holds on. And core really needs observers. Like, really badly. Ah, there we go. Finally he's like, okay, fuck it. I'm getting obs and like 3 robos. But it's fastest, so you can have 3 robos if you want 3 robos. So many idle overlords. Each one carefully tending to their hatchery, making sure the beautiful Zergs grow to be strong and powerful warriors. And he just picked up a drone. Where's he going with it? Is he upgrading? He doesn't have any upgrades. He built this Evo chamber as an ornamental Evo chamber, since he doesn't even have a spore colony. Oh, we're following it up with 2 drops. This time, though, because 4 shuttles wasn't sufficient, we definitely need to escort it with 5 shuttles. And Protoss is moving out. He will clear out these lurkers pretty easily if he decides to. Alright, he's going to come from the top. Apparently he's just going to kill 1. And we have the next drop. But not there. I guess all the drones are just like hanging out, so there's nothing for him to actually drop. Alright, here come the zealots. They're still slow. They're still slow zealots. This is still the only unit we've seen from the other Protoss. But they are killing the Dragoons because now they're in very large numbers, and this is a very suicidal attack. Zerg has too much mass to attack without the High Templars or the Reaver, without our splash support in that army. He said, okay, this didn't work very well, so what if I come over here and try to harass the Protoss? Yeah, he's got the wrong shuttle in front, though. All this shuttleness, and it might be this shuttle that gets shot down. Oh, he drops the Dragoon in time now. So it works out. He throws down the storms, and the economy of Protoss gets fucked up. So Protoss is actually pretty low on minerals. Zerg might actually be low on minerals now, too, because neither of them have a good economy. So Protoss has a wonderful economic spot, has a ton of minerals, could definitely do with a few more gateways, given his mineral count. He could add another 5, 10, 15 gateways in there and be happy. Maybe even just start building gateways over here. Maybe take control of the center, build some robos out here, Reaver push. There's lots of cute things you could do. And so we have the next Dragoon mass into the center. Still no Archons, still no Storms yet, which would be really nice to have with this. And we have a mass Zealot counter, but that is going to get really, really badly messed up by those cannons. Unless he's going to flank. We have the slow lot flank. We have the 16-minute slow lot flank right now. Very dangerous for the Dragoons, except for the fact that there's like 8 of them. With +2 upgrade. Lurker's still being slightly annoying out here. And a few random probes again. This seems to be a theme from Core. I guess he's decided he has too many probes, enough minerals, and just wants a lower supply for a bigger army. And again, here comes that outpouring of Zerg units. Will there be High Templar? Will there be Storms? This time there's actually a lot of Protoss mass, though. And a few good Storms on that High Templar, from those High Templar will absolutely destroy these Hydra. Zerg is not like a heavy microer, as far as I can see. Alright, Core. Oh my gosh. Alright, there we go. We got some Storms. We got some Storms going down, but there's still a lot of Hydra. He definitely needs 2 or 3 more. Those are actually really, really good Storms in the perfect spot. Are there going to be enough Hydra to break through? Are there any more Storms here on these Templar? No. And the shuttles are just flying over everything, but he realizes, oh, my harass shuttle has actually just died. Meanwhile, these Dragoons are finally breaking Protoss at long last. Protoss's ironclad hold of the game is broken, but we are almost down to Protoss defending desperately against Hive and Cracklings. And we've watched enough PvZs over the years to know how that usually ends. But the only problem is I don't know if Zerg can actually keep up this macro. Maybe he can. But he needs to keep stuff streaming in here as his Protoss ally is most definitely dead at this point. Those Dragoons will finish cleaning up Protoss to the extent that it matters. Whether he can bust through every cannon, I don't know, but... we got a DT out. So finally, Protoss is going to stop this, and Zerg has suddenly slowed down his macro a little bit. Adding one more hatch as Protoss has left the... No, Protoss is still mining. Never mind. But that is that for the hatchery. Nexus. Town Hall. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go for one more harass on Zerg with a billion fucking accompanying shuttles. This time we're up to 6, so I think the rule is each time you have to add 1 shuttle. Every time you go into harass. He wants to finish off the economy of Zerg once and for all. And my prediction may prove to be right. I don't know if the Dragoons are actually going to bust through all of the cannons. Alright, here we go. We got the harass. We got the attack at the front door. In the meantime, fly the harass shuttles in. Here they come. Templars being dropped in pretty questionable spots. But I guess storming the hatchery is enough to get the drones. So life is good. And yeah, actually Protoss is going to try to expand down here, knowing he's going to need more bases now. Since he's lost his super mining advantage, he's going to try to take another base to make up for it. But he's got no army, so these probes are all going to die. And he's going to be left with, like, no economy. And now Protoss is trying to bust the front. Core is going for the win. Can he bust the front of Zerg? Against unbreakable Zerg macro, he is streaming reinforcements, primarily of the Goon variety, and these Goons are having a little bit of a Dragoon moment in a way that only Dragoons can. Yeah, that was pretty good storm range, huh? That was from, like, right there all the way up there. It was, like, across the whole screen. I feel like my storms don't do that every time I fight Zerg. It's like I have to be right on top before anything even happens. Templar just walk around in the backfield. Herp derp. Oh my god. Oh my god. Last gasp. Ditch attempt from Zerg. There are no High Templar back here. There aren't that many cannons. A well-executed drop, although half those Overlords aren't full. But a well-executed drop could be problematic. Dragoon mass is pretty solid, guys. Dragoon mass is pretty solid. He's just pummeling this with raw force. And incoming drop. Incoming drop. Will it be well executed? If he burrows the lurkers, there's certainly going to be some serious damage to the economy if he targets the probes. Alright, the probes are being targeted, so that is all she wrote for the economy of our Protoss hero, but the situation looks grim for Zerg as Protoss decides to say, I don't really care that much about this drop. I am just going to reinforce this attack because I can kill this Zerg. Which would be true unless Zerg had one Defiler, and then Protoss would be very sad. And oh my god, the Nexus is going to die. All those shuttles in the world can't save you because there's no Reavers or Obs in them. The Nexus, the Nexus, the Nexus is down. But I think the attack is successful. Zerg has no economy left. There's no money left to defend. And he doesn't have a Defiler. A couple Darkstorms could have just forced Protoss back away. This Protoss is trying to get back into the game, but hey. Hey, it's not gonna work. And Zerg has conceded, thrown in the towel, and Demons concedes now too. And Icy Cup Core, 2 times without allies, is able to take the victory. A dominant, fastest performance from Core, who this time succeeds in getting more resources than both of his opponents combined. So a complete victory, a flawless victory, if you will, for Core here. And our next game is going to be a game on Tau Cross. So I can predict this will not be fastest. And it probably won't be 2v2. But who knows? Alright, so spawning in the left side as the green Protoss, we have someone named JXN, who I recognize from DRTL days. JXN. And spawning in the bottom corner as the red Zerg, we have Golden Phoenix. And it is indeed a PvZ on Tau Cross. I don't know the skill level of either of the players. I want to say JXN was around D+, C-, as most of those guys were, but I cannot say for certain, and of course I don't know where he is in terms of... Oh, okay. Okay! Of course he's talkative. Of course he's talkative. You know what talkative in the early game means 9 times out of 10. It means shenanigans. Well, someone is confident. JXN got bored of winning. I don't know if that's Brood War talk. I didn't actually see the earlier subtext. I was more excited about this. Fortunately, JXN is going to scout this really fast. Now, sometimes that doesn't make any difference at all, but the pool is getting close to being finished. Well, it's actually a 5 pool. And the probe rolls on in. Yeah, the classic talking to rush. Critical strategy. Get your opponent all distracted talking. Sub-optimize his build order. Hope he makes mistakes because he's a newbie. And then just boom. Yeah, from rush is still the all-time great, though. Like, if you time your chat so they're chatting to you right when you're ready to run the lings in, it's fucking over. It's just a whole new level of pro. Alright, so we're going to try to put up a cannon. He is going to try to defend. He's going to need some epic probe pull defenses. Actually, wait, does Zerg know where he is? Zerg doesn't know. He's guessing. That's another thing about 5 pull on this map. But he's going to guess right. So, life is nice. Alright, you need to pull the fucking probes. Pull the probes. There we go. I would pull all the probes, but I guess he's not going to pull all of the probes. Although, this is actually... He doesn't have to hold that long. I think he's going to hold this okay. I think. If he can get his probes to stop being probes. Oh my gosh, he holds it just fine. Golden Phoenix just says lol. And he can send these guys back to mine because this cannon's about to finish. Crisis averted. This map is Tau Cross. Oh, I forgot. I actually have the ability to type that in. Tau Cross. There you go. There you go. Alright. So life sucks for Zerg right now. Zerg is just crying tears and making drones. It would help if... What? No, no, GXN, no, 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 you make a Nexus. It's 2 cannons Nexus Gateway, not Gateway first. Yeah, it was most popular from those days, late 2000s? Late 2000s? Like, the 2000 decade, like, yeah, you know what I mean. Alright, so JXN is actually going to slow down his economy a little bit. This I don't particularly care for. I would prefer to see the Nexus. He's actually going to start getting Zealots beforehand, too. Probe is doing a little scouting. Of course, Zerg is making drones, because that's the only thing that really makes any sense to do. He could definitely do with another hatchery right about now. JXN, expand! He is still blocking. Why? He's like scouting in the Zerg base and knows that there aren't lings. It's not necessary. You know Zerg hasn't been pumping lings. He's got like 9 drones. You don't have to waste 3 of your probes defending. Please make a Nexus. Please. Okay, we're just gonna abandon the fast expansion plan. We're gonna do one base Forge Tech in response to the 9 pool. So we'll see how this plays out. Definitely non-standard play, which actually makes the economies oddly similar. I mean, JXN's is still better, but it's not light years ahead, and Zerg is just going to continue on the aggressive path, I guess. He's like, well, fuck it, I'm not going to win the economic game, so I need to make sure I kill him now. Probably 1 hatch Muta, or close to 1 hatch Muta, but let's see what he does. What is he going to do? Okay. 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 Come on, buddy. Come on. Do something with the gas. Or are we just mining gas because, you know, it looks cool? Maybe. Maybe. Okay, I got the assimilator up, which we knew about already. Gonna make the core. At least he's leaving room for his Nexus. I would cry if someone just built a core right there. I have no... Okay. Then why did you get the gas so soon? It's not going to be 1 hatch lurker. It's going to be a 2 hatch bust. Zealots are moving out, but having a little difficulty with it, getting surrounded a little bit by the Zerglings. 1 hatch lurker drop would be cool, but you can't drop very well without a lair. It is cute though. It does fuck up economies really bad, and sometimes just outright win games. Zerg's actually going to take a 3rd base, which I guess will make sense if you want to make some mass Hydra. And by mass, I mean, like, mass for 6 minutes into the game. Alright, so hatchery's done. Another probe has gone out, so you gotta give JXN credit. He's getting some good scouting off, but unfortunately he attacked the hatch and didn't go in and see what Zerg was actually plotting to do. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my god, okay. Okay. I thought Zerg had some idea of what he was doing based on how he played, but now I am not particularly convinced that Zerg has a clear grasp on a game plan for this game. JXN at least seems to have a little more of a game plan. I mean, you can certainly not fault the Protoss for adding cannons when he scouted 1 base with Den and other dangerous things like that. And Zerg is heading a 3rd base, which is what makes this Sunken really weird. Like, he's playing like he knows build orders and all this kind of stuff, but he's also just made a Sunken in his main base when he's going for 3 hatch Hydra, almost 2 hatch Hydra. I don't get it. Actually, he's just made an ornamental Hydra Den as well. He's getting a ton of gas. He's adding an Evo chamber here, adding a creep colony. So I have no idea where we're going with this build right now. And JXN is, you know, just adding cannons, assuming he's going to get Hydra busted, but he doesn't know. Zerg is actually just building Sunkens, and just really likes having a Hydra Den in base, because it looks cool. And maybe so he can panic and have anti-air against the Corsairs. That's the only other possible reason I can think of. And this guy's 3rd base. Although, admittedly, he did take his 3rd base not in the normal 3rd base spot. So it might be that he's just trying to do this as a hidden base and get away with something. And we have Zealots moving out. Or not. Just poking. Just making the Lings move back a little bit, keeping Zerg on his toes. Oh my gosh. Please tell me that's a Spore or something. Probably, because an Overlord just died. But he doesn't... Wait, no, he's got an Evo Chamber. He's got an Evo Chamber. And we're going to get a Spore at the front as well. Spore in the main. Gotta watch out for those pesky DT drops. And there's obviously no way to defend against that other than to have a Spore in the main. Alright, so here we go. Spore Colony, Spore Colony. Corsair's got to run away a little bit. Still can probably kill this Overlord. Certainly can come back for it later as he makes a few more Corsairs. I'd really like to see a Nexus now. I mean, we've got some tech out. I guess the standard, though, is to get, like, a High Templar or a DT or whatever, and then expand. Now, what is going on with the Corsairs? Where'd they go? Oh, they're over here. Go scout up here, buddy. It's worth doing. He's actually going to make a Crib Colony in the mineral line for no drones. Critical to defend the empty mineral line. And we have a scouting Ling. I mean, actually, Zerg is pretty on top of his scouting for what it's worth. And Protoss is getting ready to move out with some Zealots. And we get another hatchery going down. And alright, we got speed, and we do have a Dark Templar, so if he kills the Spore Colony, life will be sad. Oh my gosh, but Zerg is going hardcore defense to the front. Alright, here come the Zealots. What's he going to go? Oh, the drones are actually pretty quick to be pulled. Excellent reactions from the Zerg, who is now defending for his life. The DT is not exactly contributing to this fight, though. Can he keep it? He is morphing another Sunken to try and live. He needs to drill a little bit more. He's getting a little bit of a drill. And we are down to one Sunken. The DT is going to try to slip in, but as we know, there's already a Spore in the main. Zealots are being indecisive. Oh no! It's going to cost them, so the Zealots are going to get wiped out. But we do have this one DT. He can probably pick off drones from the top. He can actually kill the Hydra Den. He can get some drones from the top. He can definitely get the Den. Yes, he's decided. I will go for this Den. Does he have... Oh, he's actually got an Overlord here, though, so he can stop that relatively easily. Actually, no, he's got no Lings. He can't stop that relatively easily. So he's going to try to defend it with a Sunken Colony. Yeah. We're at 30 supply here. Got about 45 for our Protoss. A little bit in favor of Protoss, but not too bad. DT would have been really well served heading over to this area. And, oh, he really wants the Overlord, but the DT dies. Does get the Hydra Den, though. So Zerg is a bit low on his tech. And still has no lair. Getting a army of creep colonies, so this is a very, very, very defensive Zerg. And Protoss Maynarding and getting his expansion up. We've got High Templar at the front, so that part is good. Continuing to make Corsairs. Continuing to try to harass a little bit with the Corsairs. Probably should just wait till he has 5 or 6, then he could just fly in and say fuck you to the Spore Colonies and kill off all the Overlords anyways. Thinking about expanding, but I see a red dot there. Oh, it's burrowed. I forgot he got burrow. He's got a burrowed Ling there. Ha! Try to build an expansion, doesn't work. What is going on? What is going on? Alright, so this base is ready to be defended at a moment's notice. Still doing a nice job keeping some units outside in front of Protoss's base. Got 3 Corsairs chilling over here. Now, what is Zerg's follow-up going to be? Is there a plan? Alright, we're going to get a second hatchery and possibly another hatchery. Alright, so we're going to go to 6 hatcheries. So Zerg... No, sorry. Yeah, 6 hatcheries. 2, 1? Yeah, 5 hatcheries. 5 hatcheries. So Zerg is actually going to have decent macro here fairly soon. Protoss is building a pylon, but little does he know there is a burrowed Ling. Now, he could storm that. He does have High Templar, so he could storm that Ling away. Or he could put, if he knows the trick, you can put a Zealot there and attack it with an Archon, and the splash damage from the Archon, I think, will kill it. Yeah, because it's splashed, and splash hits even burrowed things. Just not burrowed things under Swarm. Looking back in the main of Protoss, we can see Protoss is getting his gateways up and running, so we're going to 5 gates from Protoss. We are getting Storm researched. A 6th gate, make that a 7th gate. Wait, no, 7 gates. including the gate at the front. 8 gates. So we got 8 gate, 2 base from Protoss, who is just gonna build an army of fucking cannons. That might... No, he probably knows that's not crowding out his Nexus. The Nexus probably goes like right there. I really hope it's not crowding the Nexus. Zerg almost has an economy of his own, and that is not gonna last long if Protoss finds it. Getting a lair. 3 hatches, 2 hatches, 1 hatch. Very defended natural. Some SimCity. Probably not the bet. Wow, cocky Zerg. Never mind that I have no map presence. I'm just going to take all the bases on the map. Map presence is so overrated. Alright, so good. Nexus is not blocked. Protoss is going to be getting a 3rd base, so Protoss is going to be getting some pretty strong economy. We do have +1, no +2 in sight. Getting a shuttle out. Possibly some high Templar drops. Try to slow that Zerg economy down a bit. No sign of the... Okay, energy upgrade for Templar. No sign of a observatory yet, but of course Zerg has only just gotten their tech out. They are going to be getting lurkers pretty soon though, so we will need to add that observatory on. Some rallies there would be good, and... Wait, where's the scouting? Oh, no! Oh, never mind. He's big time with the shuttle. Big time with the shuttle. Big time with the shuttle. Yeah, this is probably a... awkward sunken. Yeah. How to slow down mining 101. Build a sunken almost right next to the mineral line. Zerg is just taking every base on the map. He's actually going to cannon this expansion, which is pretty funny. Alright, and we have the beginnings of an elevator to kill Zerg's main. There are 2 sunkens here, but that will be insufficient to defend this for sure. This Protoss army can actually kill off Zerg's main and will kill off Zerg's main without any difficulty. And might do some damage to the natural. It depends on if Zerg gets his macro. Like, if Zerg starts banning SH, Zerg's going to be fine. But in the meantime, Zerg is going absolutely nutso with the sunken colonies. And it's turning some of these bases into semi-fortresses. Of course, Protoss is cannoning this base. So we have our own separate wars. He's going to cannon this in. Maybe trying to take this as his own 4th base, and that's part of the reason for the cannons. And Zerg is going to try to come defend this, which will instantly have his army hopelessly out of position for the serious attack. And those Hydra numbers, if they're microed at all, will easily take out these cannons. Might do it anyway, because they're going to finish right as the cannons are finishing. So this is going to be... Ooh, nice micro. Nice, so he will get the cannons without any difficulty. But in the meantime, this elevator is just... Yeah, there are going to be a lot of Protoss units in the main. Zerg is going to be like, where the fuck did that come from? Okay, so Zerg is able to defend that. But here's the elevator into the main. Zerg is like, what? I'm being overrun by Protoss. How is this possible? Alright, all the drones are streamlining and running away, and now Zerg is sending all of his Hydras back, but there's another army. If you would have intercepted that and known to put that army at the bridge, that would have been pretty cute, but I realize that's not easy to think about in-game. Taking a quick look back at home, Protoss saturating his 3rd base, still running off his 8 gateways. He has an observatory up. I don't know if he has an observer yet. That Storm getting a few Hydra, but I think Zerg is now going to have enough stuff to clean this up as the Hydra mass comes back. Templars have so many Storms, not using them though. He's going to kill off most of the tech. He's going to get the pool. Go get the Hydra Den. You can still snipe the Hydra Den. Zerg is not gathering his army up very nicely. Go snap. No, get the Hydra Den. It's a better choice than the hatch, which you probably won't get, but you could have gotten the Hydra Den, but now the Zealots are going to die. Still, damage is done to the main, but the downside for Protoss is that Zerg now has 1, 2, 3, 4, soon to be 5 mining bases. And of course, the way Zerg is playing, Zerg is taking a lot of these bases with some pretty serious defense. And Protoss has not very much army. He's trying to elevator in, but I think there's enough Hydra mass now that if he doesn't get a full army elevated in, it's going to have a really hard time being effective. Oh! Oh my gosh, someone has been watching streams. He is morphing lurkers to keep his Hydra alive longer, although he misjudged that lurker. So that was some pretty cute little micro. And he does have an observer. Alright, so we're bringing the observer, we're continuing the elevator, and this is going to be a continued elevator assault on the main of Zerg. Tactics you don't see very often at the DD plus level. He's got a rally out here. Zerg just needs to get his macro though, an overdrive, man. You've got enough drones, you've got enough stuff, just SH it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, SH. Alright, we're going in, trying to bust up the lurkers. If they had Hydra support, they'd be so strong against these zealots. I mean, they're still kind of strong against it. Oh, and Protoss actually just went back off. It's like, oh, I don't know about that. He's gonna bring more support, bring more troops. Just being rallied on down here. Protoss starting to get an army together. Protoss pretty far ahead in supply. But if Zerg starts spamming units, I mean, Zerg's economy is quite decent. I mean, there's not crazy saturation in any base, but spread out over 5 bases, you know, that's not bad saturation. Protoss has quite good saturation, though. Never mind. Never mind. Zerg is ahead economically, for sure, looking at that saturation. Main is a little on the thin side. So is the Nat. Nat's a little thin. Third looks pretty healthy. Oh, and Zerg is going for the surround! And Protoss needs to run away. Oh, what is this? What is this strategy? I don't know. It is not good. The shuttle is down, and all those units are dying. I think Zerg has retaken control of his main comfortably. Alright, so Protoss is now going to go attack this base. There are lurkers, though, but there's a lot of Protoss armies. Zerg is going to need units up here badly, which Zerg doesn't have. Good chance Zerg loses some bases here. He can bust through those lurkers, especially considering there's obs there. There's no spores to mess up the micro. There's even a few storms. I'd love to see another 6 goons. But yeah, I think Protoss is going to have a pretty good shot to bust through here. Zerg is just not macroing hard enough right now to be able to hold on to these bases. Upgrades are still at 1-0 for Protoss, though. And here we go. We're charging in. He needs to spread out. Needs to go for the lurkers. He gets the 1. He gets 2. He gets a good storm down there. That'll bring that lurker down to 1 health, and down it goes. Protoss has busted through. The natural of Zerg is going to go down for sure. The main will be a little harder to take down. And here comes Zerg reinforcements right now. We've got Hydra. Protoss awkwardly with 1 Dragoon. But he's got the storms, so if the storms are good, he will take care of these Hydra no problem. But he needs them. Oh, that storm was not the greatest storm of all time. That second one was a lot better, getting a ton of Hydra. And Protoss army holds. If Protoss can get some reinforcements over here, he can kill this attack, but he needs to reinforce. Oh no, the lack of reinforcements is going to be the death of him, and he's actually going to let Zerg hang on to this base. But there will be another attack from Protoss coming out now. And it is still a decent one with storms in there. And of course, again, Zerg is just not that on top of macro. So these little Protoss armies are proving to be stronger than they should be. And Zerg is running away, but he's going to run smack dab in some angry Protoss. Zerg at 1-1. Protoss coming in right now, attacking. And the Hydra are going to be forced to run away. Zerg is going to send out more lurkers and Hydra to come defend. The Exilium does not rebuild the main. Too much action to rebuild the main right now. Yeah, you can see how strong Zerg's economy is. It's going crazy. And we've got storms going down, trying to break down these lurkers, going through the hatchery. He finally gets the Nat Hatch, or the Far Nat Hatch, or whatever you want to call it. So he will break through that base, but man, if Zerg just spent his money, life would be really good for him right now. I mean, Protoss could be spending a bit better too, but Protoss' economy is not nearly as healthy as Zerg's. Zerg just not having the hatcheries and the macro to get it done, and Protoss is busting his way in. Zerg sending up his next wave of reinforcements. Alright, and Zerg's units are all sort of over the map, so are Protoss' units. They're all coming in weird angles. Zerg has been trying to change his rally points. I think he is sniping off some of the High Templar, which is good for him, but he just needs harder macro. More Hydralisk coming up. Will he be able to clean up this next round of Protoss? I don't know. It depends on the quality of storms left from this Templar, which is a money storm. Zerg trying to dodge, moving up. Oh, that's a little aggressive. Moving up on the Dragoons is good, but going that far in for the High Templar, don't know if it was worth it. All the Hydra dying here, and defense coming in though, and down to just 2 Dragoons, and it looks like for now Zerg is holding. This is a ferocious battle for this top right-hand base. Protoss is going to need another expansion, though, at some point. His mining's not that healthy, so he's not in super danger of running out for what we'd expect from a 23-minute game, but he is starting to run down on his resources a little bit, although Zerg has not rebuilt his main, so... Here comes the next reinforcement of Hydra. Is he going to clean it up? He is going to clean up the Protoss army.
He's gonna hold on to this base, but of course, as soon as this army dies, it is the next army. Oh, that is a nice little burrow. I mean, you know, I kind of like this game because even if the macro isn't like super tight, like the players are thinking, they're trying to make intelligent strategic plays, you know? Like the decisions aren't necessarily bad, it's just they're not supported by a strong macro on either side that would make them significantly more effective if they were supported with strong macro. And I like these little one armies. It's like send the first army, then send the next army to battle, and Zerg is sending up his army of reinforcements. This is actually a lot of Hydra from all sides. This is kind of dangerous. The mass isn't huge, but there are no Templar, although Protoss reinforcements arriving at just the right time and doing pretty well against these Hydra. If it would have been all coordinated, could have been really scary for both sides. We are getting reduced again, but that is a decent-sized Protoss army. Zerg is now realizing, hey, I do need to macro harder, and he is definitely doing a better job of it, as is Protoss. They've both kind of gotten into the flow now, trying to macro a little bit harder. But right now, Protoss' army is strong and beefy, and the upgrades are certainly better for Protoss at 2-1-1 against Zerg. Zerg trying to defend. Oh, there's actually a high tempo down here that could throw down a storm, and it's a storm, and it's a good one. Oh my gosh. That did a lot of damage to those poor innocent Hydra. And the battle rages. I feel like Protoss is eventually going to stabilize and get control of this side, but we shall see. Zerg is fighting for everything. Protoss again moves in his army. Hydra everywhere around the map. Alright, Protoss is now consolidating with a pretty large army, switching to a more zealot-heavy composition in response to all these Hydra. Not necessarily a bad thing. He's going for lurkers, trying to hold at the front. A storm here or two on these morphing eggs would be fantastic right about now. But does he have the Templar to do it? I don't know if he does. So he's just going to have to attack at the wall of invincibility. Now he can run through the wall. He can run through the wall. Run your zealots on top of the lurkers quickly. Oh, the Hydra are trying to block it. Lurker's doing a lot of damage to the zealots. Here comes a Templar for a storm. Will he get one down? No, he's just going to muscle through. More Hydra coming out, but these reinforcements, if they were up there right now, he'd be holding. Reinforcements are just killing me this game to watch. But instead, Protoss is breaking through. And now Protoss sending his next army. Protoss is mined out in his main. Zerg is actually starting to mine out. Has two bases, but we are about to have a large wave from Zerg. He needs to hold on to this, but this is a lot of zealots. Can the Hydralists get there in time to keep this base alive? Zerg is drilling like mad. Hydra popping out from here. Oh, here comes the wave. It looks like he is going to hold on to this base, and we've got a little interception fight over here of A-moved reinforcements from both players. Protoss will win this fight unless Zerg micros it, which is actually what Zerg is worrying about, as his main army is going to clean out Protoss. And now it looks like Zerg, with one or two storm dodges, easily stabilizes. 5 Zealots and 2 High Templar is no match for a group and a half of Hydra with a little bit of control on Zerg, and although these Reavers may prove to be problematic here in the next 5 minutes. Getting a shuttle for them. We can see resources actually now just starting to favor JXN a little bit. But oh my gosh, Zerg is moving in with a huge attack, and everything is getting pushed back. These Zealots are going to run away because there is now a large Hydra mass, probably 3 groups of Hydra. Zerg gets ready to counter in this game. And for the first time in the game, Zerg has a supply lead, and not just a supply lead, but a really significant supply lead. But Protoss is actually securing a base in... I just love this. It's like in the middle of Zerg territory. I will take this base with cannons, and I will hold it. Oh, that is a valid point. Zerg is only working off of 1 gas at the moment, because he's not rebuilt his main. Actually, he's still got his nat gas. So he's working... Oh, Zerg's still okay on gas. Not great, but not terrible. This base, Zerg needs to stop this. Zerg, oh my gosh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, cannon defense. But Protoss, even though he has this base, he's going to have a hard time getting probes across to it. So he's going to be mining off 1 base, so that investment into cannons is basically going to cause his army production to go to 0. And all of a sudden, Zerg is looking ominous as fuck. Like, Zerg has suddenly, with that break, has gotten his macro together, and that is a lot of Hydra. Like, that is enough Hydra to just smash through these cannons with, honestly, not even that many losses. If Zerg finds this, I think Zerg is going to be in suddenly a wonderful position. Protoss suddenly feeling a little less confident about his position, realizing I don't have much. No, that's not the problem, buddy. That's not the problem. The problem is you let Zerg have this base and this base and this base and this base. Look at Zerg spreading out all of his Hydra. He's just ready to catch this Protoss army wherever it is. Of course, he doesn't know about this base. Not that it's mining that heavily. But things are looking up for our Zerg player with this Hydra mass all across the map. Is he gonna drop? Is he gonna drop? Not for a while. Not for a while. That moment you want to drop and then you're like, oh, I have to research it first. So yeah, Zerg economy is lovely right now. Protoss economy is the opposite of lovely. It's almost non-existent. There's even a Reaver here for defense. Still, we're waiting for the decisive move. I feel like the next move will probably be decisive. But all signs point to a Zerg victory at this point. Possibly just going to drop the gateways. Unfortunately, Protoss's army is, well, got one. We got 2 control groups of units plus 3 or 4 Reavers, which is actually pretty decent. He knows about it. He knows about it. Oh, this is not the way to attack, though. Not like this. No, get all your Hydra together. Don't attack one at a time into this. I mean, they're still going to do okay, and there's enough Hydra that probably he can kill this base. But if he loses too many, Protoss could suddenly come out with a Reaver-enforced army and actually take out a lot of Zerg's bases. Here come Lurkers. Not 100% the best burrow, but he is slowly breaking through the cannons, and soon he will be able to reach that Reaver, which is really just a question of, is the Reaver going to get off any really good Scarabs? That's one okay Scarab. Will he get off a second one? Actually, the Reaver doesn't do that much. Base is busted. Now it's just a matter of Zerg needs to clean up this army, and this will be his game. Protoss will not have enough mining beyond this, so we'll see how Protoss can have some control. That is not what Protoss needed, though, to run all of those Zealots right over those Lurkers. He needs to take out the Lurkers, focus firing the Lurkers now, but Protoss's army is starting to look pretty small, and Zerg is reinforcing a bunch, and Protoss, in the end, taps out. Says GG. I think they're, like, not enemies, so I think this is just being friendly, not being bad manner. And he's saying, I have the whole map, by the way, which, honestly, I have no idea if JXM was aware of or not the entire game. Says I didn't expand properly. That's sort of true, but more than that, I would say you let Zerg expand a little too much. So that was a crazy D-Ranks game with battles all over the place and lead changes, and yes, the macro might not have been tight, the micro might not have been amazing, but the actual game itself was pretty darn entertaining. And now we have our last game for this cast, and it is going to be on none other than Python. I have no idea who the players will be, but we shall be finding out. Alright, I just lost my little overlay, so if you'll hang on with me for just a sec while I turn that back on, this will be good. Boom. Alright, so spawning in the top position on Python as the green Protoss, we have someone going by the AKA of Lonely Probe. And spawning in the bottom position as the blue Protoss, we have none other than Sakura-chan. And I honestly don't know for sure who these players are and if they are good. So, we'll see. I think Big Fan was Stealth Bunnies. Was JXN? Were you guys in SP together? I don't remember for sure. But, yeah, I definitely recognize JXN. I recognize Big Fan, but I don't remember exactly what teams they are. So, we have a PvP here on Python. Very open, wide open map. We got far spawns. And I don't know, Sakura Clan, I am tempted to say that's someone
Pretty good, but I'm not sure. Jealous giving some information saying that Shakira-chan is an A- player. So we have a pretty big skill disparity here as Green Protoss is going to take on Blue Protoss. Green Protoss obviously would be highly favored, top of the ladder kind of guy. So apparently this is a game from 3 or 4 years ago, so back in the day. Back in the day. Back when I wasn't even a college grad, wow. Ouch. Alright. Pretty standard stuff. Getting a gateway, getting gas, exactly what you expect from PvP. Both players out scouting. Python, a map that was actually known for 2-gating. I forget exactly what made it so popular, but Python was a well-known map for 2-gating. In fact, back when they did that BattleNet Attack show, Bisu actually talked about why he likes doing 2-gate on this. Yeah, even in Python in 2012, though, it was kind of rare. So, you know. It's Python for you. Never quite died. FS kind of took its place, but never quite died. Alright, here comes the probe. Alright, let's see if he's got a zealot in the right spot. If you guys want to know and don't know, there's a little trick. It should be in the right spot. If you look at the ramp, you see how there's this part of the ramp, and there's this part of the ramp? There's a crease right there. If you put it right on that... Oh, he lets the probe in, but if you put it right there on the crease, then it'll always be tight with one zealot. So that's the trick to getting that right. Alright, so we have a Manor Pylon. Manor Pylon? Yeah, Manor Pylon. Always annoying. Only traveling one probe, but still they're annoying. They make probes run around, herp derp, do stupid shit. That's kind of cute. Might forget about the probe in the chaos. Core is up, and core is up. Okay, so this is core position, if anybody doesn't know. If you put cores like this, depot like this, if you get it in the right spot, just to the left, like 1 hex left of the gas, it'll usually optimize your gas mining. Your probes actually travel slightly shorter distance, giving you just a smidge better gas mining. Alright, so he's come back in to take a look with the probe now and see what we have. We have Dragoon range, so we're going to have a pretty standard non-DT-esque opening here from our Blue Protoss, from our A- player. And it looks like Babbo is doing the same thing, getting his Dragoon out. Got a Zealot on the ramp. And we'll just have to wait and see what the next tech is. I like the pylon placements here. We're getting some good vision of the base. And Sakura Clan's going to follow this up with a Robo. Python is indeed a 4-player map. Spawns at the 12 o'clock position, the 2 o'clock position, the 7 o'clock position, and the 8 o'clock position. And just poking out, chasing the probe away, trying to get that last hit on it. Can he do it? Boom! Gets the probe off the map. Alright, so both players are playing similar so far. Timing of the second gateway a little faster for Sakura Clan, which may indicate a difference in what they're planning to do initially in terms of order of shuttle robo-obs. Modesty saying he thinks that core actually manages the gas mining a little bit, which it's hard to tell, I don't know. Does L? Trying to watch it, it's hard to tell. It's subtle, whatever it does. Alright, so we're gonna go straight to Robo from Jealous, which he can afford to do because he has scouted and seen the fast spinning core, knowing that there's no DTs. And Sakura has not, so Sakura is electing to go Observer first, so as to not have that annoying feeling as a DT knocks at your ramp, and you have to try to keep from losing units or letting it run in and chase it all the way around. So, Obs and then Reaver. Honestly, if you would have wanted to, Babbo could have just gone straight to the Reaver, but maybe not trusting it, or maybe just wanting to get the information, play it safe. But here comes our Sakura Clan guy coming out with the Dragoons. Looking for the expansion. Oh, trying to mana that. It's not going to do much. He's going to have to cancel it. Wait, that's blues? Never mind. No, that's greens. Yeah, yeah. Alright, so that's going to get canceled here in a sec, I assume. Gonna delay the Nexus by about 5 seconds or whatever. I hope he canceled that. I hope he canceled that. Alright, so we have first Reaver out yet? No, because he just made the obs. So first Reaver on the way. And in the case of Sakura, getting a second Observer, so there's not going to be any Reavers from Sakura clan, which is an interesting decision. Obs on the way. Wait, where's Sakura's obs? What? Oh, he's just left the first obs here. Still worried about the potential of DTs. I've got all my reps going back to like 2009 when I first played. Alright, so somehow, despite going obs first, Sakura clan playing it safe, kept his obs at home. So Babo is actually going to get first scout as well. And Nexus timing is pretty similar, so, but I want to say that Babo's a better. Oh, does the obs see it? Does he see it? Will there be a Dragoon? He didn't see it. Uh-oh. I hope his reactions are on point. Because, I mean, Babo, I already like Babo's position. I consider it slightly better. Just because faster tech, similar expo timings, etc., better scouting information. But if he doesn't see the Reaver coming in, whoa, this is like really conservative. Oh! Oh, he gets off a 3-kill Scarab. He's got 4 probes, so he's already got a few probes. He's dropping the Reaver again. He's going to go for the... Oh, little bit of problem. And Sakura just says, I'm going to try to trick you, and this is kind of cute, but he's paying attention! And he runs the shuttle back in. And there's 2 Dragoons. He's trying to target the shuttle. He goes for it, and he gets 2 more, so he's up to 6. This guy is going to try to get away. He's going to abandon the Reaver. Oh, but he loses everything in the process. And the Reaver is down. But he does get 6 or 7 kills out of that. So how are we stabilizing after that? 60 supply against 52. He did forget to Maynard probes in the process. A bit forgivable. It's pretty hard to micro Reavers and get your probes going to expansions at the same time. Can give even higher ranked players a bit of trouble. Alright, so he's got to rebuild the shuttle and the Reaver. He does have a Reaver down here for defense. Sakura clan's actually pretty solidly ahead in supply right now, though. In terms of workers mining, I couldn't tell you. I unfortunately don't get that information, but we shall see. Alright, so Sakura is going to add 2 more gateways. Very far spaced. I could never macro out of that. He's going to have another gateway. But maybe the idea is this is some just nice opening layout that keeps the pathing from getting weird on this side of the base. I don't know. Nice little obs position there from Sakura. I can see that there's still nothing there. Of course, Babo has picked up his shuttle, and he's gotten speed. So he's going to go for some serious harass. There are, again, no Dragoons here from Sakura, which I don't entirely love, especially against the possibility of a speed build. So we'll see if he can do some damage with the shuttle. We got, what, 3 gates? 3 gates adding a 4th gate, but in comes our shuttle. Here we go. Alright. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was a pretty good Reaver. And with no reaction at all from Sakura clan. And where are we going now? Oh, he's going to try to chase the probes. It's pretty ballsy. Pretty ballsy. In the meantime, Sakura is trying to move his Dragoons to snipe that shuttle on exit. And, there's a lot of them. This is going to be critical. Can he make the right? No! He's 1 away. He was so close to escaping. But unfortunately, the shuttle is dead. But he did get 1 very explosive Reaver shot off. So he is keeping Sakura's economy in reasonable check. And he's worked his way back into even supply as a result of that harass. You can see the obs is still there, but yeah, the economy a little on the sparse side here for Sakura clan, or Sakura-chan, I guess it actually is, but I want to call him Sakura clan. I'm just going to call him Sakura. Alright, so we're getting an assimilator. Flying around the observer. Citadel going up. And we got 4 gate macro. Again, it's what, still 5 gates? Yeah, still 5 gate macro. So 5 against 4 gates pretty even. We got another shuttle. Oh, does he see it? Is he gonna snipe it? Is that what he was trying to do? Or is he just looking? I think he was trying to. So he's trying to be really cute with these snipes, but he's not quite being able to land them. He's got some nice Dragoon defense though in the mineral line. Well, Babo saying nope. I guess I'm not gonna try that angle. Careful, careful. I mean, this guy does have decent movements trying to snipe this shuttle with these Dragoons, but speed shuttles are fast. He's able to break free. Gotta be careful. Gotta be careful. Oh, looks like he's okay. Shuttle goes down. That'll be easily dealt with. Shouldn't. What? He lets it get 4 probes. That shouldn't have happened, but. Should have ran the probes just to play it safe, at least to the bottom part of the minerals. But that is another round of Shuttle Reaver loss. Still pretty even trade. You know, if you get 4 probes, 200 supply. It's a little bit of a net loss for Babo, but close to the break-even point. I think the other 2 shuttles were at the break-even point, getting 6 or 7 kills apiece. So from a strictly cost-value standpoint, been pretty even. Sakura at 106, Babo at 112. So pretty even supplies. We've got some obs moving across the map along with a probe. Nearest obs for Sakura is... oh, he sees it. He's coming back to kill it. Probe dies. Obs is just going deep into enemy territory. Bunch of High Templars coming out. Where's Babo's tech? Oh, Babo's going to move out with his army. Which could be a nice little timing. If he's got an army advantage as a result of those High Templar, there won't be any storms probably by the time an engagement... oh, actually, never mind. He must already have High Templar energy. He must have gotten energy before storm? I'm going to keep an eye on this. This is interesting. I guess there could be some logic to that. I'm not exactly sure on that. Let's see. Let's see if he develops energy later. I think he has it. Wait, you can just see if he has 250. Oh, no, he doesn't. No? No? Okay. I just thought it would take him longer to get storms. It looked like those Templar had just popped out. Alright, so we got 5, 6, 7 gateways for Jealous against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from 6 from Sakura. Ah, how does anybody macro like that? That's amazing to me. I would just... oh, man. It's so spread out, and it looks like Babo is posturing to take a 3rd base. But neither player really is committed to moving out or around the map. You can see the scouting is pretty good for our player, and we're going to have some High Templar harass. Oh, and actually, is this going to be a double expand? This is going to be a double expand attempt here from Babo. I'm just taking a look with the obs up here. And here comes the shuttle. The High Templar dropped. Babo pretty quick to run his probes though. Observer goes down trying to escape, realizes he can't escape with the shuttle. So down go those 2 High Templars. Does drop a Zealot off over here to be annoying. Babo's just like, I'll keep making a cannon here. Whole army to kill it can be a little overkill. Especially since he doesn't have vision to know where this army is. If he had vision, I'd say, hey, whatever, do what you want. But lacking that vision, a slight bit of risk, especially to do this. Like if Protoss has gotten a good position over here and then you had to panic coming back, that could be pretty annoying. Sakura now taking his 3rd base, but of course Babo is taking a 3rd and 4th, which Sakura is aware of. Keep in mind, he did fly his shuttle over this morphing nexus. Supply is pretty even, just slightly favoring our A- player. And we're getting a transfer of probes over to the left side. Man, I have to admit, if Babo were to win this game, that would be a pretty impressive victory. Like, it's one thing to beat a high temp or a higher ranked player, like just have a really good first engagement where just shit goes your way and snowball from there. But this has just been an even macro game all the way up to like 200 supply, and it looks like we might be about to have our first engagement. Alright, so here we go. Pretty good arc for Babo, not the best arc for Sakura Clan, who realizes that is going to
reposition his army a little bit before considering this engage, getting the Reavers dropped off, and here comes the battle. Reavers, of course, wonderful for destroying early zealots, but of course, Babbo dropping off his Reaver, not into the best of position. Storms going off everywhere, and we have our first major PvP battle of the day, and it actually looks like Babbo's army is doing well here, which is interesting to me. I don't know exactly why. Actually, it looks like it's going to come down to a fairly even trade, but Sakura Clan definitely needs to back out of here now at this point, as his army is going to be losing this battle, although supplies, again, relatively stabilized, so a pretty even, typical PvP trade. But Babbo is going to be totally happy to have traded evenly here. This is interesting. He's going to run by, because Babbo is on a way better economy at this point, especially with this base starting to get up and going. The question is, how will Sakura respond? Will he counter over to the left as Babbo goes to harass his base? No, he's going to come back. He needs to come back with a few units if he wants to hold this base, but he's going to do a small counter, but that is too small of a counter, so Sakura really needs to clean up these 3 Dragoons as they go bang away on the Nexus. Won't be able to kill the Nexus no matter what he does. That's actually 4 Dragoons, but he has significantly weakened that Nexus. Shuttle's still here, but it doesn't have anything in it. I don't think. I think it was all killed, yeah. So we'll see where this goes. This could work its way into a good position for Babbo. Sakura is in a little bit of a dangerous, uncomfortable kind of spot right now. Let's double check our upgrades. Playing 1-0 against 1-0. We're getting Forge upgrades. So Babbo is about to hit 2-0. And the Forge for Sakura, that's actually very even. Oh, and Babbo is a little out of position. Sakura is trying to shut down the base. The probes immediately run. It looks like the probes are actually going to get away, and Babbo is not going to attempt to defend this base, not feeling confident enough to engage this army here from Sakura. So he will lose the 4th, and that will put it on a little bit more of an equal footing. Zealot running up over here to harass, but there's only 1 cannon, so... So Sakura with a nice move, taking advantage of Babbo's being a little out of position, and now things are back to a more even setup, although Sakura is threatening ever so dangerously to go ahead and take this base up here. And of course, if that gets cannoned up, bases up a ramp in PvP can be fairly difficult to break. Oh, does it say TSL? I forgot I could say that. Bam, and it's gone. Not TSL. That would be kind of cool if I had TSL reps, but I don't. Gotta love it. One thing that's pretty nice is when it comes to positioning and seeing the map, Sakura is definitely outplaying Babbo in that regards. And we're going to have a major engagement as both armies walk awkwardly past each other. Babbo is really clumped up though, although he misses the perfect opportunities to storm Sakura does. And we've got a bunch of storms going down everywhere, and the battle is raging, but I have no idea who's going to take this. It's a typical PvP battle. It looks like Sakura is busting through, but Babbo does have a lot of Dragoons up there at the top, and we're going to have another relatively even trade in the middle here. Babbo trying to get those High Templars, prevent those Archons from forming, but I don't know to what extent he's going to be able to pick off 2 Archons, so nice right there from Babbo, preventing those from forming. Those get really nice later in PvP if you go to those Zealot-heavy compositions. The Archons just tear through them, and Babbo actually is going to clean up that army in the center, and we're going to continue to stay at this low econ, so Babbo really needs to see this right now. Because if Sakura is allowed to establish the 4th base without contention, as evenly as they're trading, getting a 4th base like that is going to be really advantageous for Sakura, because neither are going to have a sufficient army advantage to go kill off another player's base until we get to a point, such a point in macro where we reach a tipping point. Babbo is regathering all his units, and of course, what do we have from army compositions as we start to shift more towards late game compositions? Getting a few more Archons in there for Sakura. You can see Sakura's posturing. He wants to keep this base reasonably defended and protected. We've got 2-0. Both should be going for their 3-0. Neither player can afford to make a second forge, and it looks like Babbo now wants to take his 4th, and Sakura, oh, this is going to be uncomfortable for Babbo, as Sakura is going to counter with Babbo out of position, so this could again be a very decisive moment depending on how this trade goes. with the two armies. Babo is streaming in. It's pretty common. It's hard sometimes to not panic and just send your army in one by one to get picked off. Sakura dropping the storm. This should be a decent engagement for Sakura. A few reinforcements are coming off, but Babo actually has more army up here than Sakura does. So it looks like Sakura is going to donate some units here in exchange for killing some of the probes at the natural. Of course, there's no mining for Babo. But I'm a little worried right now. Babo has a pretty big army, and Sakura has a pretty not big army. That is... You can go deny this Nexus, which is nice. But he is... I'm a little worried for him. He's adding cannons. He knows he doesn't have an army. He's now in the economically ahead position, but he is in the militarily disadvantaged position. Where are these zealots going? I don't know what the hell they're doing. They're dying. They're getting picked off. Picked off. Alright, so he's just keeping these to try to defend with High Templar. He's got almost no army. Like, Babo has a big army. Some of that we're starting to see is the difference. Sakura hasn't had this base quite as long as Babo has had his. You can see Babo has mined about 200 more from there. So that's starting to make a difference at this point. Sakura is mining this, but let's not forget that Babo did mine some on the left side as well. But the army advantage and supply advantage right now for Babo is starting to coalesce. And if he wins a major engagement now, it is going to be probably over for Sakura. And it looks like Babo is going to consider an attack on the third base. And I like this goon-heavy composition here. Babo is going to move down. Sakura has to defend. I'm surprised he's going to try to fight out here. He's going to try to get some great storms down the Dragoons. The Zealots are trying to get everything killed, and it looks like Babo's army is doing fine right now. There's a lot of Zealots left, and as those Dragoons clean up the Archons, and Sakura is being forced back into his natural. Now, all Babo has to do here is not waste his army. If he trades this effectively and can start to bust, obviously the game will be over. But if Sakura defends really efficiently, the game could continue on, but it is a tough position right now for Sakura on the back foot. Babo could use some reinforcements. He doesn't have those coming, and he actually wisely says, hey, I've traded pretty well with the army. I've got a bigger army. I'm just going to back out of here. I don't need to lose it all defending, and I think that is a really good decision in this case. Because, again, if he lost all of his army and reset it to a zero army versus zero army position, the situation would be nice for Sakura. His advantage is that military advantage, and he has to get something out of it. Also, let's notice this guy snuck over here somehow. So if he trades his military advantage for a significant change in economic discrepancy, it could be good for Babo, but he can't just give away his military advantage on units. Okay, and Sakura is aware of that. Does finish off that High Templar. Only 5 kills, but he had probably been annoying the side of those probes. So now Babo is still maintaining that army advantage. He is still mining nicely from 2 bases. And Sakura, well, this is actually interesting. Babo's close to mining out, though, at this base. But right now, still kind of even on the mining spectrum, and the army from Babo still seems pretty significant. Definitely still has a modest supply lead of about 15. And he's thinking about this attack on the third base. He's actually up the high ground, which I love his position. If he engages from here, Sakura cannot fight him right here. And he knows that, and he backs off. Unpleasant positions to be in. Is Sakura going to go for the counter? He's going to pick off that Dragoon, and it looks like we're going to have a battle. Sakura going down, dropping storms, a bunch of storms on the Dragoons, but there are only Dragoons left, and this is an open engagement from Babo, not in such a defensive position. So again, it's going to force Sakura back, and it's going to be a favorable trade. Babo keeping his military advantage, and now he is going to double expand, which I think is one of the ways he can turn his military advantage into a economic one as well. But he's got to be careful, because if he were to lose his army here, he could definitely still lose the game to Sakura. And now he's going to fight the army. He's going to back away. He's killed the cannons. Will Sakura have enough to clean it up? I don't know. Babo gets down a really good storm. Sakura getting down one as well. But Babo got the storm already. Now Babo is going to try to aggressively pick off the High Templar. I don't know if that's the best decision. He is trying to pick off the probes at this base, not actually going to target down the Nexus itself. And it looks like, in terms of remaxing, Babo actually still has a lot of Zealots. Sakura as well, though. They're still in a pretty even position in terms of the army, but he's killed all of the mining of Sakura here at this base.
And Babo now has established this expansion, so it is 3-base mining for Babo, soon to be, well, maybe not quite 4-base. We've got a shuttle going on. Is that a harass shuttle? That is definitely a harass shuttle. There's only one reasonable target for that harass shuttle, though, which is over on the left side. Zealots coming in here to kill off the DT obs? Oh, no obs. No obs. And we're gonna lower. Oh, he's just gonna try to prevent that expansion. Secure sending some probes back over to get mining up. And this game is still hanging a little bit on a razor's edge. We can see the supplies are still close. The PvP war rages. Babo has about a 2 control group army. That is a large army to go kill a probe and a pylon, though. I would not feel comfortable putting that much supply down there. Ballsy, Babo. Ballsy. Ballsy. Alright, and now the counter from Sakura. He's only got 1 cannon. His army is really out of position, though. He's going to be forced to sack this base, I strongly expect. And a DT is going to sneak its way and hold onto the ramp. That's cute. To prevent the units from the ramp coming to defending it. There's no obs. So they're kind of here, the probes. I guess they're just going to run for it. They will actually escape pretty well, though. Alright, so Babo, unfortunately, is forced to sack this base. Sakura able to keep it then to 4-base against 4-base. Who is more mined out? If this game gets into an economically unstable position, Babo is almost mined out at the 3rd. Really healthy there. Sakura definitely has more, just 3rd. Probably a little less here. So probably just slightly favoring Sakura, but this is a remarkably even game, even at this point. Babo, I feel like, still has the edge in terms of his army, although this DT is being obnoxious as hell. Upgrades for both players the same? Yeah, both players are still on 1-3. Does that mean we have double fort? No, Babo's not upgrading. Whoa, interesting decision. Unless Sakura has put down a 2nd forge. And Sakura is now aiming for the low ground. So we have another position here where Babo will need to respond either with a base of his own or by killing this expansion, lest he fall behind in the economic battle. Shuttle looking for some good places to harass. And there certainly are options here, although that cannon will attack the shuttle. This one probably wouldn't. Oh, we have a drop that went down here, and we are going to get a decent number of probes, but Secure does run them. Shuttle trying to run away, and it is going to make its way away. Bab also doing a good job moving his army around the map at the same time there, threatening. And Babo just keeping it in the middle there, allowing him to re-establish his 5th base. So we can see mining has dwindled at both bases now from Babo. And we might be about to have an engagement. Sakura is going up, trying to get us around. Sakura has a nice arc, but some of the stuff is streaming in a line on the other sides, and some of Sakura's army is not fighting. And that is a lot of Dragoons against an Archon-heavy composition, which is not always the best. And it looks like, for the first time, Sakura has really been sent packing as Babo's army annihilates Sakura's. And for the first time, Babo actually has a strong supply lead, 30 supply at this point. Economically, the positions are okay as well. Although, if this 5th base gets established, and Babo, is he going to go for it? He's going for the jugular. He's going down into the natural. I don't know if I agree with this decision 100%, but if he can make it work, it's certainly a game winner. He's trying to take down the natural base. He's got a lot of Dragoons down here. Where is the status of the macro for Sakura? Oh man, he's not macroing on a lot of these gateways. He's making panic DTs. Babo doesn't have an obs, so that could force him back, but we have like 2 or 3 panic DTs, and Babo is going to try to go up the ramp. He's just going to go for the win. He doesn't want to keep playing the economic game. Oh, someone's feeling confident. Saying GG question mark. Although actually with Babo taking out that secondary base, that is not looking good for Sakura. He's actually going to be able to bust this up. And even if Sakura kills this army, it is going to be out. And then Sakura says GG and follows it up with your Gosu. Quite the compliment. I think he meant that legitimately, because I mean that was a even long game with lots of good play on both sides. Look how close that turned out to be in resource count the entire time. That was just Close all the way. Low, not low eco. It wasn't really a low eco PvP, but it was definitely like small army size. It wasn't your typical like sprawling macro PvP where 200 armies like clash into each other 3 or 4 times until someone gets a decisive lead. It was like scrappy eco PvP. But nevertheless, a very entertaining game. Definitely one that I enjoyed watching. I will say that much. That was worth its time, so to speak. So I think that is going to be all 4 games today. Yeah, D plus taking down the A minus, but D plus played a good game there. That was, the only area where I would blatantly say it looked like Baba was outplayed was when it came to scouting, and Sakura was definitely consistently ahead in the map vision department. But beyond that,